Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. Please accept my greetings. My deep gratitude to our esteemed speaker, CA Kailash who has joined from Nairobi, Kenya for us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Please accept my greetings. My apologies for this technical glitch. I thought that the YouTube voice is off, but it was switched on. So sorry for that. So my esteemed gratitude to our speaker, C. Kailash Mudha, and to all our attendees who have joined here on YouTube and also on live. Before we go on to the topic and to the introduction of our speaker, I would like to say about how we carry ourselves as an individual. If we are a weak person, we may be focusing on our weaknesses. We may be focusing, our center of focus may be our fears, they may be our doubts, they may be our worries. And if we are a person who carries a lot of ego, then we may focus on the shortcomings of others. We may see that how that person is good or bad, or what are his weaknesses, and we will compare that, oh, that person is too low when it is compared to us. When there is lack of humility in ourselves, that is what we try to portray or carry ourselves. But if we are a strong person, we will focus on our own strengths. And that is what the life demands. If we focus on our own strengths, it will make us powerful. It will make us very strong to win big. And when we are looking at opportunities in East Africa today, we have to see the strong points that can help us grow in our career and make a significant difference as we live our life. I know CA Kailash Una for more than a decade, and he has spent almost 3 decades carrying experience in Africa. In between, a decade back, he had spent some time in UAE also, where which has been a home to me for close to 19 years now. And many times, the opportunities which we share in jobs groups which come from Africa are shared by him. And he is having his own organization into several divisions, and one of the co-division is this headhunting for Africa. And also he does a lot of headhunting for UAE also. And uh, he has served in the managing committee of Nairobi chapter, which for the last Nairobi chapter of ICI, which for the last 4 years has done a tremendous job in tremendous work in Africa and in creating a difference. When we look at East Africa, as per my experiences, because Africa had been my region when I was regional director for ICI from 2018 to 2024, and in I re realized that Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya are the three East African countries which has our significant presence. Then there come many other countries like Malawi, Madagascar, Rwanda. Rwanda also has significant strength, but I think the population of our members in Rwanda is little mixed. Like sometimes some of the practicing chartered accountants, they spend 6 months in India, some spend 6 months in Rwanda. So I understand Rwanda is more like that. And more we will get to know about East Africa and the opportunities for Indian chartered accountants. But definitely the place where CA Kailash is right now, the place from where he will be he has connected with us, has a significant number of members. I cannot say that whether it is 300, 400, or 500, whatever it is, whether it is 300 or 500, it's a significant number, I would say. And there are significant opportunities, I know, and there has to be a right way to capitalize on those opportunities. And with the guidance we will get from CA Kailash, I'm sure we will be able to get that. So uh, thank you, Kailash, for being here today. Before I formally hand over to you, uh, is there anything you would like to specifically say before you start your presentation? Yeah, thank you.
Good morning,
Yeah.
everyone. I would like to uh, say thank you to you for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to say to all the participants from wherever you have joined,
Right,
I will do my presentation in the form of a slideshow. But more than that, I will be sharing the experiences which I have gained over the last 27 years in Kenya, in specific, and East Africa in general. And
right,
I would like you to be more interactive. Ask me as many as questions. The slide may be limited, but you can ask as many as questions. I would not like to take more than 20-25 minutes, or at the most 30 minutes to do my presentation and share my
right,
experience. But
right,
more than that, I would like the time to be there so that each of you can ask whatever uh, apprehensions, I will say apprehensions you have about life in Africa. Because most of us, when we come from India, we do have apprehensions of life about life in Africa. We have made our own mindset. Like 30 years back when I came, I was told when you land at Nairobi airport, you will see a lion outside. You see, all these, it's life is totally different. People still think Africa is in a cave age. It's not like that. Probably,
mhm,
as I will share my experience also. So please ask your questions. Once I am done, you can wait once I complete my talk, and then I will be more than happy to answer as many as questions I can. Whatever practically I can do, I will do that. So I think
right,
that will how I will go through it, or I'll
right.
prefer to do.
Yes, yes, yeah. Please go ahead. Thank you so much. So I request everyone to please hold on to your questions and do not put your questions in chat box because it will remove the focus of the participants. So wait for your questions and directly ask. We will give you an opportunity to unmute yourself. You can raise your hand, and we will take every question that is being asked here. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen and start my presentation. So is it visible?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
okay. So I'll be mostly speaking about careers which are available in careers for chartered accountants. I know a couple of my friends have joined from who are members of other institutes of accountants, but I'll make it a very broad perception about how accountants and chartered accountants can get opportunities here. So this is my background. I'll give very brief. Prabhdeep Singh ji has already shared about me. See, I come from southern India. Though I'm a Gujarati, I was born and brought up in southern part of India. I qualified from Bombay in 1989 as a chartered accountant. And since then, I have been a member of the institute holding a fellow membership. I was a faculty member when I was in India. I was a faculty member and I was trained by one of the past chairman, C.R. Bhupati, and I was a faculty and have taught about 600 students during the course of the 90s. In 99, life took me to Kenya, and since then I have uh, been in Africa. 2-3 years in between, I had an opportunity of working in Dubai as well. 2015, I gave up my employment and started my own consulting. So we do recruiting, headhunting, training, coaching, one-to-one. We do a lot of things. We have a presence in India as well. We have an office in Ahmedabad. which my partner runs. And I'm a certified career counselor. I do a lot of motivational talks. Like last weekend, I was in one of the Indian communities addressing about 250 students. And I have an hobby of writing as well. So I do a lot of publishing. I've written, successfully published about two autobiographies, which you can look at on my page. Now, I am trying to, Prabhdeep Singh, I will be focusing on the opportunities which are there in Dubai or
Right,
UAE and compare them with the opportunities and the life in East Africa.
right. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So,
Yeah,
so I have worked in Dubai between 2011 and 14. I know life has, I left in 2015 to come back to Kenya. I think life has changed, but yeah, there is a glamour of Middle East. There is a glamour of UAE. So, but what I realize as we are progressing, there's a lot of competition in the UAE, and the vertical growth is slowly when you compare to East Africa, and you get in a specialized role and your exposure becomes limited. Okay, now that the war situation is there, life has changed, but I hope it is temporarily. And then when you compare with East Africa, the the cost of living in UAE, specifically in Dubai and around, is high. So that is one of the reasons why people should look beyond UAE. After the situation changed from end of January, I've got about 50 to 60 chartered accountant profiles who are actively looking to move out of Dubai. I'm not saying, I'm saying that this might be temporarily, but people are looking beyond UAE. Now, the East Africa, coming to East Africa, as Prabhdeep Singh ji said, East Africa comprises primarily Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. But of late, uh, Rwanda has been added. Then we have Zanzibar, and Ethiopia also is there, and a few countries around, but mostly uh, it is these three countries. And within the average uh, GDP among these three countries is between 5 to 7%, and it is one of the fastest regional growing area in Africa. East Africa is there. As I told earlier, we have the UN headquarters as well. We have a lot of, and of late, a lot of foreign investment inflows have been there. There are regional headquarters of global private equities in Nairobi itself. And because of the slow growth, the middle class is slowly growing. We saw this in India when India opened up the doors. I think in late 90s, the middle class started expanding. Now we are seeing the same feature here in East Africa as well. Now, as I have already given you the GDP, when you compare UAE, the average GDP is between 3 to 4%, but in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, it varies between 5 to 7%. And there's a boom in the financial sector here in East Africa, where banking sector's revenues have exceeded $100 billion here. And you can see, as compared to the global growth of 10%, we have about 17 to 19%. And SME technology, retail banking has been expanding very fast here, and fintech has and disrupted the traditional finance. One thing about Kenya, I would like to add, I think most of you must be aware, Kenya was the first country in the world to introduce mobile app M-Pesa. Later, India has taken over the world today. But if you look at history, I think about 22 years back, Safaricom, the leading operator, started M-Pesa, and each and every individual in this country uses M-Pesa. So that is where Kenya contributed to the world. As I told you, India has taken over now, but this one was there. And okay, now the talent gap. This is from our employment point of view. I've just classified them, the, the categories as entry level, mid level professionals, and qualified at the top tier. You see, at entry level, the availability of accountants, even local, you can say ACCA, CPA, the availability is very high in terms of local talent. But as you grow, on the mid-level professionals, the availability is moderate. But when it comes to C-suits and top, it can be any category, the availability of professionals is, is low. So if you are if you are eyeing at East Africa, you can look at mid-level and top tier opportunities. I'll say which opportunities are also there. So there is a severe shortage of like high quality finance professional at least at top tier. And as I know, I have a student of mine also, Ramesh, and we discussed almost every day about the opportunities. He is into mid level, trying to grow into a top level talent. Now, this also I'll go through brief. I will answer your questions more on this. You see, I'm just giving you a broad overview about which are the sectors which hire and which are the roles which are available. Now I'm like globalizing it for East Africa, not any country as such. So if you go each sector, you know financial services, which is banking and fintech, you have opportunities in credit, in risk management, in IFRS implementation. In audit, we have all the big four and mid-tier firms present here. So you have an opportunity either in audit, in taxation, in transaction advisory, compliance services. The roles can be any. Even in corporate finance, especially in multinationals, we have manufacturing sectors, we have service industries, we have agriculture, horticulture, telecom, logistics. And in private, Kenya or East Africa, the private sector and the family owned businesses play a very pivotal role here. 90% of the structured business is in private sector, and mostly it is by family owned. When I say family owned, it can be any family owned businesses. It can be Asian owned, it can be African owned, or it can be any family, any British family owned. We have. So you have roles in manufacturing, again here, trading, distribution, hospitality, healthcare, education, aviation, and other industries. And as a consultant, we cater to mostly companies in the private sector, and we have clients across sectors. It can be manufacturing, it can be aviation, it can be to institutions, educational institutions. The smallest client we have is a small store run by a family. To the biggest client we have is a multinational which is headquartered in Europe. So we have that kind of client. So we have other, as I told you, we have UN presence. There are opportunities in UN, in developmental agencies and NGOs. We have oil and gas, which is also upcoming. Oil and gas, though, is present in strong in West Africa, but yes, here in East Africa is there. And then of late, we have the tech and or fintech, which has come in a big way, where you have opportunities in finance, in other segments also. So there are opportunities in this sector. Now, if you look at the demand in East Africa, banking sector has about, like, this is for employment. So the demand for professionals more is in banking sector, followed by manufacturing, which is almost 20%, infrastructure, which is including construction and other projects, is about 15%. Equally with technology is 15%. Energy and others, they are about 10% each. Now I'm comparing very briefly the life in, I have stayed in UAE and I've worked again in a multinational for about 2-3 years in UAE. During that time, I was doing back and forth. So I'm trying to just compare the life in UAE with East Africa. Now, if you look at uh, the markets in UAE, though they are growing, they are slowly, they are maturing. Whereas in East Africa, we are still in a growing stage. There are plenty of opportunities here. In Middle East, because the life is good, there's a lot of glamour there. So people are more attracted, especially when you qualify chartered accountant. Like I in 1989, when I qualified, I had got an opportunity to work in Dubai, in Air India's station in Dubai. It was very attractive. Fortunately or unfortunately, I could not make it. So I know there's a lot of competition. Even when I was working there, it was a back office which I was handling. We were in my office, we were 30 people, out of which 15 were chartered accountants from India, 15 were chartered ACCS from Pakistan and other countries. So I understand there's a lot of competition there, but in East Africa, there is competition at moderates, but there is a lot of scope there. Now, this most important thing is the career growth. In Middle East, once you are there, the growth aspects, unless there are exceptions, it's very slow. It's not that you can grow like very fast. But in East Africa, if you are successful, the career growth becomes very fast. Again, I'll give my example. I started as a chief accountant. I grew as a financial controller. Then I grew as a CFO for a company. And then I was a virtual CFO. I worked in a business for 15 years. So I grew to that level. If you are interested in that kind of knowledge, you can reach out to me. I'll give my details later on. I'll be able to help. And even okay, now coming to the role, in UAE, there are very specialized roles are there. And as compared to in you may be given a financial controller or a COO or a CFO's role, but the responsibilities and are very wide. So you can be a head of finance, you can simultaneously handle administration, human resources, operations, and all those things. It's very broad. Your experience and scope will be wider. Coming to the last point, leadership opportunities here in Dubai are very high. Similarly, here also are high. Here you can slowly grow from, as I told you, from one role to another. That is a common phenomena in both the regions. Now, this one again, I would like you to ask questions when we ask on this. Now, the salary benchmarks, I've just classified broader roles like an accountant, finance manager, financial controller, and a CFO. In Middle East and UAE and East Africa, when you start at a lower level, in UAE, you may be starting. I have put it for convenience in dollars and not in dirhams or in shillings. So you can start with anywhere, the range can be $2,000 to $3,000. Whereas in East Africa, you can start slightly less, about $1,500 to $2,000. And as you grow, finance managers, it can start between 5,000 to 8,000, whereas here it can be between 4 and 6,000. 7,000, I have put it on a higher side. Once you progress as a financial controller, it can be 8 to 12,000, and in UAE, but in East Africa, it starts growing up to, it can go as high as $10,000. But if you are at a CFO level or a CEO level or a CEO's level, it can be 15,000 in Middle East. I think 15,000 is approximately about 50,000 dirhams, if I'm not mistaken. And East Africa is about, it's a variable range. It can go as high as I even know of one of our member. You can Google him. He's called Mr. Dilip Pal. He is the group CFO for one of the leading telecom operators in in East Africa. He's our own member of the chapter. And I think his salary is, I'm not sure, but annual package is about $200,000 plus. So I'm not sure. You can Google it. It's a listed company. Figures are available on the net. Now, when you compare your salaries and you compare your cost of living, most of you, if you are in UAE, you must be knowing that the cost of living in UAE is high. Now, when I say cost of living, I'm trying to compare with the earnings. As an expatriate, most of the companies, apart from the salaries, they do provide a few benefits for expatriates. So you'll have to compare the cost of living vis-a-vis the benefits that are given. Most of the companies give you benefits like accommodation is taken care of. Not all, but most of them. The rents in, I think when I was in UAE, the company was not paying my rent, and I used to pay about 70,000 dirhams per annum. So I know the rents are high. So in UAE, it's high. In East Africa, anywhere, I'm not saying it's too low, but it's moderate. Schooling, again, is one package with expatriates try to negotiate for their family, for their children. And in UAE, I think it's expensive. In East Africa, it's comparable because we do have international British schools as well. Lifestyle, I know most of you know, Dubai is a glamorous world and lifestyle is costly. In 1 year, there was a time 1 year when my spending was much more than what I earned in that one particular year. So I know lifestyle is costly. In East Africa, it all depends on what lifestyle you want to adapt. Sometimes it's comparable to India or any other countries in Southeast Asia. You can adapt to whatever lifestyle you want. You want an average or a moderate lifestyle, you can have it. You want to have a very high-end lifestyle, you can have it. When I say about lifestyle also, like accommodation is taken care of in most of the companies. Schooling, not in all, but some companies do provide. And when it comes to lifestyle, most of the expatriates are entitled to airfare either once in a year or once in 2 years. Apart from that, many companies either provide you with a company maintained car, or if you're at a very senior level, you are provided your own car, and some companies even provide you with driver. This is just general. It may differ from company to company. So as I've written here, salaries in some cases might be similar or lower in East Africa, but one thing I can say that leadership roles as you grow in Africa can match or can exceed the UAE region. Now, in real life, because I do a lot of placements in this, most of the opportunities are in manufacturing companies, because manufacturing companies is the core sector in East Africa. Though most of the countries like Kenya, we depend a lot, our income depends a lot on the hospitality, because tourism is very attractive. And then we have horticulture, agriculture, floriculture. But manufacturing company in the last decade and a half has taken a very big spot. So in manufacturing company, you can get a group CFO level. If anybody is interested, currently I'm working for 3 CFO levels. If you're interested, you can reach out to me. Head of Treasury, I'm working for a manufacturing company as a head of Treasury for a shared services. So banks, they have got head of Treasury. Banks often offer expatriates at the key, because there is a restriction on most of the positions to be filled up by local employees. But on the key, you will find, especially in the Treasury, chartered accountants or finance people there. Then in manufacturing, most of the positions which come up is from FMCG, and in FMCG, you will get mostly either financial controller or finance manager or similar opportunities. And then you come down to smaller businesses, mid-sized businesses. The size may be small, but you get the top role there. So probably the structure may be lean, but you get an opportunity to start as a CFO or similar. Of late, chartered accountants who have taken up CFO's role have also started looking of COOs, CEOs, or head of operations or similar. Like last month, I placed One of our own member, he joined on 1st April as the head of operation for a multi-business uh, conglomerate. He joined as a head of operations. Now, audit also has a very big scope, not only in the consultancy business, but in the manufacturing, in the banking sector, in distribution, in hospitality. We have audit roles. Like last year, I placed the internal audit head for a big size company where Rami is also, who has joined us, is working there. So we do have these. These are the real opportunities which we do come across. Now, one thing, when I'm saying why Indian CS are preferred over other professionals, I'm not discriminating, I'm not being biased, but I'm telling from the real experience that I have, having worked 20 years here and 10 years into my own consultancy, I've realized that why we are preferred. As Singhji added, we have about thousand chartered accountants who are working in different sectors in East and Central Africa. In Nairobi, we have about 200 to 300. In Kenya itself, we have overall about 500. The best thing about why we are prepared when you compare to other accounting bodies is the strong foundation of our training. I think we have a mandatory training. I'm not sure of today, but we had 3 years articleship. You could do industrial training. And I believe the foundation that we lay in that 3 years of training, our principles ensure that we work. I don't know the timings, but I was made to work 10 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours. But that time I regretted, but now I realize that 3 years lays us a strong foundation. When you compare to other professions, this training for us is mandatory, whereas for others it is only mandatory after you qualify. But for us, it's mandatory. So you get an opportunity to get industrial training. I don't know the current structure, but you get. Another thing I've realized is we are very strong in our IFRS knowledge, whether it is accounting or auditing standards. We are very strong. And when it comes to finalization of accounts, we stand a little bit ahead as you compare there. Other things being apart, the most important thing which I weigh, which we are considered, is two things: is work ethic and our adaptability. I would like to a little bit elaborate here. You see, most of the chartered accountants are in the key positions, and though they are in the key positions in most of the company, the general working hours are 8 hours, and still we have a culture of 5.5 days a week in most of the companies, though audit and multinational do work 5 days a week. But when I say adaptability, we are expected to take the role, and 9 out of 10 chartered accountants don't end up in working 8 hours. We work 9 hours, 10 hours, depending on whatever is there. I was working in a petroleum business, so sometimes I used to be called at midnight also if there's a supply. We are adaptable. That is the biggest advantage we have and the biggest quality we have. We are adaptable to the circumstances. That's why we are paid reasonably well. One more quality I would like to add is the integrity. The integrity of people coming from Asia is much more higher. Again, I'm not discriminating, but this is general trend, which is why we are hired also. And then when we have a strong foundation and our experiences in structured environment is very strong. And like I said, IFRS, we do have international reporting. We have very good exposure as compared to people who are here. In the East African, one more thing I would like to add, we have the certified public accountants body in all these countries. We have a lot of ACCA members present who are competing with us. But when we come, we carry a lot of advantages. That is why I preferred. Again, Ramesh, I'm not discriminating ACCAs or CPAs, but that's what I'm trying to say. And now you are working abroad. You may not be working in Africa, or you may be working in any other countries. So now who should be the one who is considering who can consider moving to East Africa. Now, if you, okay, I've written 5 to 15 years experience, but even if you have 5 years post-qualified experience, there are roles of chief accountants at entry or middle level, you can start. Or if you're looking to move, if you're already working as a financial controller or finance managers, or you are stuck in the middle management roles where growth you're not getting, then definitely you can look at opportunities which are here. And if you're seeking, you are already at a good level, but if you're looking to take it to a different level, then definitely, if you're seeking a leadership role, you can look at opportunities which are there. As again, at this role, I've got in the middle and senior management, do have quite a few roles. You can always reach out to me. Even if I'm not the consultant, I can guide you whether the opportunities is right, the companies are right or wrong, and whether you should take it up or not. So just to conclude, like as I said, East Africa is not a saturated market. It's a building market, and you can grow. Just before the question answers, if you want, you can take down the contacts. I will share these are my office numbers. And before closing, I would just like to say, I just made a few points before I close. Please bear with me for 1 second, please. So I made a small note, a concluding note, which says if you are in the UAE, you're already part of a well-established system or a market. But in East Africa, we are growing. So you will become a part of building this system, and maybe a few years down the line, when this country or this region is grown or structured, you may feel proud that you have been part of that. Then this is the difference between them. And the opportunities here are not just jobs, they are leadership platforms. And East Africa offers something very rare: growth, visibility, and impact, all of them at the same time. So I think I would like to end here, and I would like Prabhdeep Singh ji to take it forward, and then we start the question answers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kailash ji, for a very insightful session. I knew you carry a lot of experience, and there was no doubt that whatever words will come out of your mouth will make a significant difference to our audience. And the messages which have come here in chat are different. I have got almost 10 messages on my WhatsApp. Where the members have been very impressed with what insights you have shared, and they are thanking me for arranging this. But more than that, I'm thankful to you for sparing your valuable time and coming here to make a difference. We have 20 minutes left, and I hope members are ready with their question. We have Dhaval, who is the first person to go ahead. Yes, Dhaval, the screen is yours. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thanks for this enlightening session. It was very, very useful. So I will quickly start the questions that we have in mind. I'm sure most of them would have the similar questions in their mind as well. I've been here in Saudi now for almost, I'm in GCC for almost 13 years. And now this was very insightful and very happy. I would be exploring such opportunities for leadership role. I'm already in leadership role here. The main concern that everybody will have is that how is the education and safety. So there are concerns over safety, that things are not safe, not okay to go outside. There may be some kind of incidents of robbery, and so gun violence. What about that? How are the things there?
Okay, I'll first take up the schooling part of it. In schooling, we have the British curriculum, we have IGCSE, we have IB, we have a few Indian schools as well. And then for local, we have the Kenya board as well. So when I say IB and IGCSE, in India, we have 10 plus 2 plus 3. Here we have 11 plus 2, and then comes your graduation part. The educational facilities are reasonable, but most of the expatriates, their children up to schooling, maybe up to mid-level schooling, up to either up to 8 or 10, they do it here. And then if they have a career in mind, they want to do specific, they send their children either to India or other countries. But educational is reasonably good. It's compared to India, yeah, it's expensive, but many companies or many expatriates do negotiate their package in a manner that they can take the cost of the education into consideration. Now, coming to security, I think we have a very wrong perception about Africa. This is in general. I don't blame anybody for that security. Sometimes I feel Nairobi is much safer than Delhi, honestly.
Hmm.
You see, in Delhi, if, especially for a female to go out in the night, you feel that it's insecure. You see, there was a time when Africa was considered insecure. There are pockets. You see, in each of the country, even in India, in Bombay or in Delhi, there are pockets where you have to be careful. In the daytime, there is nothing that you have to be worried about. There are stray incidents, but you see, the media, I don't know, they blow out of proportions of the life. You see, 500 members are living here, and 100,000 people of Indian origin are living here in Nairobi, in Kenya itself. So the security things are blown up. There are incidents, robberies are there are gunpoints, there are all those things, but I don't think the condition in other countries in Asia is most the same. But people feel that security is a concern. Let me tell you, I have lived in Kenya itself. I lived in Mombasa and Nairobi. I've lived in Dubai. I've traveled to the US as well. US also I had some incidents. In Australia, I had some incidents. But what I'm saying, that security concerns have blown out of proportions. Not because I'm a recruiter. You can ask to any person. I think I would like Ramesh, if you can add this. Ramesh is an ACCA. He's a student of mine, a candidate working in one of very big corporate. He's born and brought up, I think, the third generation Asian born here. Ramesh, for 1 minute, can you share if you're there? So okay, I don't think is there. But what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
say,
Sorry. Kailashi Ramiz is here and he's unmuted. Ramiz, you can please go ahead.
Ramesh, share your thoughts because Ramesh, I'm an expatriate who am living in Kenya. Okay, now I have a PR, but you are what you call a born and brought up Kenyan. You know Africa much better than me. I think this question you will be able to answer. Yes,
Yes,
Ramesh.
Ramiz, can you please go ahead? Yeah. I don't know. He's unmuted, but somehow his voice is not coming.
Okay. But I would
Yeah.
like to conclude that this one, there is no such concerns. There are stray incidents everywhere, and which is common everywhere. Even like I said, I had gone to Sydney about 20 years back, and in the night I was afraid. I was in a restaurant when I came out. The streets were abandoned. So you have to be careful how you live here as well.
Hmm.
But generally, life is safe.
Okay.
Okay.
Regarding education, the here in GCC, particularly Saudi, if I talk about the cost is around $20,000 for a
Per
British
annum.
curriculum annually
You're talking of per annum.
per annum, $20,000 per annum. And here you get native English speakers, teachers, English speaking teachers, and some of them are from South Africa. So how are the, I mean, so there in British school also you get native English speaking and same
Yeah,
quality of.
you get Indian faculty, you get Britishers who have settled down here, and you have good. See, one of the best part in Kenya is Kenyans are very highly educated. So good faculty members also are there. So it's a mixed, you get in terms of cost, I'm not sure, but it's not that high, $20,000 per annum for the highest in undergraduate schools, I think should be about $6,000 to $7,000 per annum. I'm not sure. I cannot vouch for it, but it's approximately that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And the compensation is in US dollar or they pay in?
It's a very good point. Earlier, when I came, even now, some companies do negotiate. Like last week, I placed a couple of them. It was in dollars. But what is happening as the system is become more and more structured, they agree with you in dollars, but it is converted into the local currencies, and
Hmm.
it's locked. So
Okay.
whatever they agree, they lock the rate at the time, unless the fluctuation is very high when compared to dollars. But most of the countries pay you in local shillings, and that is paid. And the taxes, if you are agreed on a net salary basis, you are paid that net. The taxes are taken care of by the companies. The remittances are done to local accounts. Then you can savings. If you, for savings, you can remit to wherever you want.
So individual income tax, no need to worry about.
No, you have to file the returns, but if you have agreed on a net salary basis, then your tax, your PAYE is taken care, and you have to file the annual returns.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much is the individual income tax rate?
The
The rate?
highest is about 32% highest. But you see, most of the companies agree with you on a net salary basis, especially for expatriates. So whatever the tax is there, it's grossed up. Unless you agree a gross salary, that's a different scenario. But most of the expatriates, they agree on net. Supposing you agree on a $5,000, $8,000. So you don't have to worry about the taxation. The salary is grossed up and the taxation is taken care of the company if you have agreed again. I'm just stressing this on a net salary. If you have agreed on a gross salary, then yes, your taxation cuts and then you are given.
Great. I'll individually get in touch with you, Mr. Kailash. Thanks for this.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank you.
You can take my WhatsApp number or my email. I'll share it at the end of this one. You can just
Yeah.
note it down. All of you, you can reach out to me.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Dhaval. Yes, Gopal, can you please go ahead with your question? Yes, Gopal, can you please unmute yourself and go ahead? I think Gopal, you're is not able to. Then Shakil, you had a question. Can you please go ahead with your question? Yeah, Shakil also, I don't see anyone who would like to ask a question. Can you please unmute?
I'll just
Hello.
briefly answer in the meantime.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
Gopal here. I'm
yeah.
Gopal here.
Gopal is here.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, sir. Sorry, actually, it was it was unmuted. It was muted.
Okay.
Only now I unmuted it. I'd like to ask two questions, sir. One is regarding the supply of power and water. Is it on 24 hours basis like what we have in the Middle East? And the other thing is, what is the level of driving that you can have? Can you own your car like what you have in Gulf, and you can drive even around midnight? If you want to go on weekends or for some excursions like that and all, is it possible
Yeah. Power
without
and
any
light.
fear?
Yeah. Power, light, water there is no issue as such. Once in a while, if we don't have power cuts as such, sometimes we have power issues, but it's 24 hours and there is no issue. In terms of not only you're talking of car, I own an apartment here. So I owned when I was working. So you can own your car, you can have a license, and you can drive. See, midnight or late nights, you have to be careful. But you see, we have very good nightlife in East Africa. So people do move around restaurants or other entertainment places. So there is nothing like that. You can move around as long as you take care of yourself, not going in isolated places or not. But yeah, if you come on weekends here in Nairobi, you'll find traffic movement throughout the night. So it's nothing to worry about it. You can own a car, you can have a license, you can drive yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Shakil, please go ahead
Yeah,
with your question. Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I lost my connection. I
yeah.
just wanted to know that what kind of salary could be expected for a person who has worked as an FC for 30 years experience in Middle East region.
30 years experience. What is your age?
My age is 54.
Yeah, you can expect, see, it's again a demand supply. It depends. Supposing you have worked in an industry and you're getting a role in the same industry, then automatically you stand higher chances. But otherwise, it all depends on the industry and the situation, the demand supply. So it can, it's not like I give you that you'll get 5,000 or you'll get 7,000. But yes, it depends on the demand supply and the industry you come from. Now, supposing I'm just giving an hypothetical example. If you come from an FMCG background and you get an opportunity to become a CFO in FMCG background, then you stand a good chance. Again, if the company is desperately looking for somebody to join urgently, all these factors are there. It depends on a lot of factors and it depends on the industry as well.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
let me give an example. Let's say
Yeah.
somebody is working in Dubai. Let's say he has been working for the past 25 years. So normally this kind of experienced people would be getting in the bracket of 25,000 to 40,000 dirhams per month in Dubai region. And second thing, I would like to know that what kind of saving we can expect. Let's say if somebody is getting $8,000 per month, okay, if it is a gross salary, so what could be the saving a person can expect? What are the inflation rates over there?
You see, one, I just like, I shared also. In Dubai, what happens, even if you're at 40,000 dirhams, most of the cases, I think,
Mm,
correct me if I'm wrong, the rent is not taken care of by the employer. You have to
Mhm.
take it care of.
right,
Your vehicle, your travel
right.
has to be taken care of, and school fees has to be taken care
Mm,
of. See, you have to compare the net savings
mm.
after all these costs.
Yeah,
Yes,
Now, here, if you earn,
yes,
say,
yes.
$8,000,
Very true.
so if you earn, supposing you are
Yes.
earning $8,000 I'm talking on gross level now, $8,000, say
Yes,
2,500,
yes, yes.
two thousand
Yes.
five hundred is your uh, taxation. Say about 5 or 5,500 you save
Mm-hmm.
after your thing. But supposing your accommodation, your travel, your fees, and other medical is another which is given. If it's taken care of by the company,
Mm,
then out of that
mm,
5,500,
mm,
it will depend on the individual,
mm,
like what lifestyle you live and how much you want
mm.
to save. See, if I want to live a lavish lifestyle,
So is it
I
possible?
might
Yeah,
I might not end up in
yeah,
saving
yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah.
So it depends. It depends on individual to individual.
right. Okay. I think
Right.
we'll
Very true.
move
Yeah.
ahead. Shakil, thank you. Thank you so much. So before I go to Manish, who has a question on internship, Ramiz has unmuted himself. Ramiz, as we have been waiting to hear your voice since long, can you please go ahead and answer
Uh,
what Kailash had asked? Yes, please.
just first of all, I'd like to make sure you can hear me now, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
very
yes,
well.
we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for this opportunity, Kailash, and all the other CAs who are here as well. Just briefly, I'm a third generation Kenyan, and I've been in Kenya all my life. My great grandparents were from India, and
Yeah.
I'm personally surprised by some of the questions that I'm seeing here regarding our infrastructure and our security levels. I just like to clarify that East Africa is itself rapidly evolving. Especially countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, Rwanda, they're all working on their infrastructure, and I believe they're all working to attract foreign investors and all that. Now, as a result, the infrastructure has gotten much, much better. If you can look at something like Addis Ababa, or in my case and Kailash's case, you can look at Nairobi. We've got a lot of companies that have invested as well, and the economy as well is growing. As you saw, we are looking at growth rates of between 5 to 7%. So I think a lot of these things are misconceptions and maybe taken wrongly from the media. Our security levels are very good, and our infrastructure as well is improving on a daily basis. So I just like to,
Yeah.
dismiss those myths.
Thanks,
Thank
Ramesh.
you.
Just to add,
Yeah.
because Ramesh is working one of the biggest FMCG in East Africa, which itself has employed more than 10,000 employees, and he's in a very senior finance position. He's a qualified ACCA as well. So just thank you, Ramesh, for the inputs.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Yeah. Manish, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Yeah. Manish, we are waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes,
Prabhdeep ji.
Manish.
And thank you,
Yes.
Kailash. My question, thank you for this wonderful information. I'm not thinking for myself, but for the next generation. Will it be good for college going undergraduates for having internship opportunities? How it will add to their overall growth and experience and lifelong career setting opportunities?
You see, if someone is already here in Kenya or East Africa, any of the countries, then it becomes more easier.
Okay.
But if somebody is not in East Africa and wants to come as an intern, it's a challenge. Challenge because you will have to take the immigration permits and all are there. But if somebody is already there, supposing a parent is working and one of his children wants to get internship, so it's very easy. A student visa can be applied and they can work on that.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just giving my direct contacts in the chat. So if you want, all of you can just take it up.
Yeah. Please,
just
all of you can take
those who are
the.
interested, then please don't call me. Please WhatsApp me. I will respond to you. What happens is I do address about 200, 300 calls every day. So I will come back to you.
Yeah.
So just I'm sharing
Yes, Kailash.
I'm sharing my WhatsApp number and my email ID.
Yeah, so it has come. So all who are present here can please take the email ID and the WhatsApp number. Yes, Kailashi, there is a question by Vishak here. He says that how can we know about the opportunities available in Africa? Any job portal sites are there?
Yeah. See, all the Indian job sites have got opportunities. And then they are there. And then there are, in Ahmedabad itself, there are more than 40 companies who specialize in recruiting only for Africa, including
Right.
us. So you can reach out to them. And online, if you Google, you will get all. It's like in our, like on LinkedIn, on our LinkedIn page, if you go and look at it, on an average, you will find about 70 to 80 jobs per month. And
Very nice.
yeah,
Okay.
so mostly are for local. We specify if the nationality is open, then we do specify. We cater to most of the companies in Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Tanzania. Most of the companies. Most of our
Okay.
clientele is based in that. If any of you do get an opportunity, just message me that I've got an opportunity like this, whether it is reasonable or not. You advise me, I will come back to you. You
Yeah.
can even
Okay.
reach out to me. If we have an opportunity, we will definitely connect. Currently, I'm working at different levels, especially for CFO. I'm working for a CFO for a pharmaceutical company. I'm working for a CFO for two. You can reach out. I'll tell you exactly. 2 or 3 opportunities are there. Then I have financial control opportunities as well. Then I have for a FMCG, head of treasury is there. So all these things are there. Head of treasury, especially somebody from strong banking background. So we are looking for that. You can reach out to me, Agyuan, then I can connect you with companies if you're there. So
Right.
one question I would like to answer in somebody who had mentioned here about the age.
Yeah. This is what I was about to come. Sudhindran has mentioned 60. I believe that it's more very subjective kind of a thing. I'm
Yeah,
not
you
sure. You
see,
can tell.
you see what happens. Okay, in structured environment like multinationals or
Yeah.
government agencies, there may be an age limit of 60 years.
Yeah.
But what is happening in private sectors, some companies do have a age limit of 60, but what they do, they continue to hire you under a consultancy basis. Now, like I have my own friends who have been working in, like I have a friend who is now retiring. He's been working, he's 67. I have a friend who is working as a CFO who is 68. In private sector, it's not the restriction, it's the arrangement between the employer and the employee. So if they are comfortable, like as I said, one of my friend, he's been in here from 1990s. He's in one company, and I think he's turning 68 or 69 later this year. So it is subjective.
Right. So there was a question from Ravi. I think that's already answered. Uh, and Ravi is very thankful. Ravi is a young chartered accountant here based in Dubai. He's very thankful for this session. Ravi, if there's anything else it's pending you would like to ask, you can unmute yourself and ask. Is there anything still pending, Ravi, to be answered? No, I don't think so. No. So it's answered. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, last call for any question which is pending. We will take a last question. If there is anyone who would like to ask, you can
So
unmute yourself.
as I told you, I've shared my number and my email. Please
Yeah.
WhatsApp
Yes.
me, and I will be able to come back.
Yeah. So we have Dhaval here with his hand raised. Yeah, Dhaval, keep your question short because we are
Yeah.
short of
Yeah, yeah.
time.
How is the medical facilities there?
Yeah. On day to day, the facilities are good, but it's reasonably good here, and we have good hospitals also. But if there is like some serious issues are there, most of the people either prefer to go to Asia, India, or Pakistan, or any other countries, or those who can afford, they go to either South Africa or Europe, like especially England. But uh, when you compare the facilities in other parts of Africa, in East Africa, the facilities are reasonably good. I will not say the best, but reasonably good.
Okay.
At least your day-to-day things are taken care of. We have got good hospitals and all in case of emergencies. But if it is very, very serious, yes. People prefer India, especially because of the high quality of medical and the costs involved.
Yeah. So there was a request for your contact details to be shared again. I have shared it again. As we are here for 2 more minutes, so you can quickly please take it or reach out to me and take it later also. Yes, Kailashji, thank you so much. I think the impact which we had been looking to make through this session it has been made, the justice has been done. Thank you so much for sparing your time. And I request you to please say your last words, whatever you wish to say in few seconds or 2 minutes, and whatever your final message to whether it is a young or an experienced professional, please.
Yeah. No, I would like to just say, because the conclusion is that life is safe here, opportunities are good, and we are progressing. We may not be like UAE or other advanced countries, but we are progressing. So if you get an opportunity in East Africa, don't hesitate. I would like to, in a very, very normal, would like to say, see, we have stepped out of India, most of us stepped off India or wherever they are, to make sure that we have a good life and we have a net good savings as well. That potential is very high in East Africa in specific and Africa in general. I would like to conclude, and I've given my details. Anytime you want to reach out to me, please message and I will respond. I may take some time to respond, but definitely I will respond. And
Thank you.
lastly, just last concluding, on my LinkedIn page, I had written an article when I started my recruiting career, Life of an Expatriate in Kenya. Read it, it has got all the points. It's a very detailed article I written about 12 years back. You can search on my page, you will get the article. It has got all the questions, safety, education, benefits, everything is there.
Yeah,
And
maybe you can put this on as a featured article because it will be then easy for members to search on
okay,
your LinkedIn page. Yeah,
I'll
you
make it a
can. You can make that as a feature. I have like on my LinkedIn some featured posts, so that will make it easier. Though with the keywords, it's easy to find.
You see,
Yeah,
the
but
title
if it
itself is life of an Indian expatriate in Kenya. So it has got all. When I say Kenya, it is applicable to the East African market.
Yeah, very nice. So we had audience today joining from UAE, from India, from different parts of the world. And thank you to each one of you who joined today in the CA Speakers Forum. We will be back next week with IFRS 18. So please mark your diaries. Next week at 12 p.m. UAE time with IFRS 18, we will be back here. On Saturday, next Saturday. Yeah. Thank you, Kailash. Thank you so much. Look
Thank you,
forward to
everyone, for
meet you when
joining
you are here
and
in
giving a
UAE.
patient hearing. Thanks a lot.
you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. Look forward to
Thank
meet
you,
you here, or
everyone.
we will plan tour to Kenya. Masai. Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you plan to Kenya, we can have all the members have a meeting with our members because we are very active here.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's what I said in the beginning, that the chapter is doing brilliant. And the current chair, you know that he was a speaker a few days back in the CS Speakers Forum.
Yes.
Yes.
I addressed that. I was there also.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you,
So,
everyone.
yeah, this is all for